Hi, my name is Ray Jewell, and I want to share with you an article that I wrote that I feel should be thought about by many business owners. The article you could see on the screen when understanding why many business owners and businesses are suffering or stressing. I submit to you that the reason is that personal stubbornness gets in the way of business growth. I'd like to have you go to this article on RS Marketing Works where you can actually read it and understand what I'm talking about. But what prompted this article is many times people go to present products to business owners that can help their business, that can make their business more profitable or more efficient, and they shun them. They don't even give it a second thought. They just tune them out and continue down their merry way, and their business suffers. And we can check this proof by looking at the business fatality rate. 1 in every 10 businesses will survive 5 years. That's horrible, and it doesn't have to be that way. But many times the business owner gets in their own way. I don't know if you've ever seen The Prophet on television. He's Marcus Lemonis, who's a billionaire, owns Camping World and various other businesses, and he goes to buy businesses. So when he goes into a business, and many times I bet all the time, the business has called them. And he goes in, he talks to the business owners, he decides whether he wants to invest or not. When he does decide to invest, he'll take 25, 30, 40, 50%, and he'll pay them accordingly. And then he'll tell them that while they're developing his people, process, and product strategy, that he's 100% in charge. So on goes the show to let you know how the business owner interacts with Marcus. And many times, almost 98% of the time, the business owner gets in their own way. They're stubborn. They won't take direction. They think they know it all. And here's a billionaire teaching them how to get their business to the next level or even much higher. They shun new information he brings to the table. And it's a perfect example of my article. And I'll explain in the article why this happens. But many times, and more than not, stubbornness gets in the way. It comes from the subconscious mind controlling the body, and I get into that in the article. But how many times have you been presented something and you just tuned it out? So let's step over and look at very successful people. Very successful people will be open-minded. It's like the little graphic on the screen. Minds are like parachutes. They only function when they're open. So I want an open parachute. But many times successful people, most times, whenever a product or service is presented to them, they're open-minded. They listen to it, and then they make their decision. But they don't just tune it out. And one could argue there's so many of them. Well, you have to look at the resource of where you get the information from. If it's from your junk mail, probably it's not worth looking at. But then again, it may be. If it comes from LinkedIn, LinkedIn is a very powerful B2B network where business owners are looking to business owners to help them, and vice versa. That information probably should be looked at. If you're referred by somebody, that's a good resource. Webinars. Now, I know webinars can be very time consuming. And if you get on the list of webinars, man, you start getting tons of them. But webinars are a good resource. And a lot of times I will say that I'm going to attend them. I won't. They'll send me the replay, and then I can scroll through it unless they've blocked the scrolling thing, and then I just let it play in the background. I ran a successful consulting business for well over 35 years and then sold it. My background is economics. I have a doctorate in economics. I always was open to new ideas, and consequently, I was able to implement them and see tremendous results. I didn't implement all of them, but I implemented a large part of them. Some worked, some didn't, but I implemented them and maybe spent a few bucks to get them going. But I listened to the people presenting the information. And if that information was congruent with my business, then I would implement it and see if it worked. So I'd like to have you go to rsmarketingworks.com, and the article is Personal Stubbornness Gets in the Way of Business Growth. And you can read it and let's see if you agree with it. But please, when somebody presents something to you, don't just close it. Don't just close your mind to it. Please open your mind and at least let the person present to you. And you will find that you will get a huge amount of new areas that can launch your business into tremendous growth. Thanks for listening.